Welcome back, students. Since we've had a week off, I wanted to just make a review video for you because we are going to continue in our Unit 2 book. So we're going to continue in this book, but we are going to look more at graphs. And I want to just do a little bit of review with you of our prior learning before we went on Thanksgiving break. So we've been talking about when you have a table and we're working with constants, proportionality, we're looking for what is that multiple across this table, and you can do that by the constant is equal to y over x, and in this case it is 4 over 1, which is 4. So our constant would be 4 the entire way through this table. So if we put a 3 here, it would be 3 times 4 to get us 12. And I'm just going to put 4 here. It'd be 4 times 4 to get us 16, right? Because this table is proportional. Another way to think about it is what is 1 times something needs to get me 4. And if you can see that in your head, then you know that it is a constant of 4. If you can't see it, that's why you do the division of 4 divided by 1 to get you 4. Okay, so there's a couple different ways to figure out what that constant is. Alrighty, now let's look at the table. This is a vertical table, and then this is a horizontal table. Exact same kind of concept. We have to figure out the relationship between these two. And it is 3 times something needs to get me 75. Well, I can't see that in my head. So then I'm going to go 75 divided by 3. And if I use my calculator and I go 75 divided by 3, I get 25. So the constant for this table, the K for this table, is 25. So I'm going to put 25 there. I'm going to put 25 here. I'm going to put 25 here. So 3 times 25 brought me to the 75, right? 3 times 25. So if I stuck that 25 here, 3 times 25 gets me 75. Okay, I'm going in that same direction. So 1 times 25 is 25. Now this one I'm going a different direction, right? So it's 100 divided by 25. And on my calculator, if I took 100 divided by 25, I'm going to get 4. So my answer is 4. Now let's put 125 here because this one's a little bit harder. So I'm going the opposite direction of the multiplication. So I'm going to go 125 divided by 4. So let's grab my calculator. 125 divided by 4. Oops, excuse me, not 4, 25. 125 divided by 25. And I'm going to get 0.01. Okay, I'm going to get 0.01. Now let's just see. I think that might be wrong. So I'm going to go 125 divided by 25. And I get 5. I knew that seemed kind of wrong. So then I'm going to get 5 here, right? And that should have been 25 there. Okay. So now I want you to also kind of see the pattern. So when you're stuck and trying to figure out, like, am I multiplying or I'm dividing? Whatever answer you get on your calculator, what I want you to do is I want you to think about, does it fit the relationship that I'm seeing? Small number, big, small, big, small, big, small, big. Okay, so small to big, small to big, small to big, small to big. So I think I'm doing good work there. Alrighty, now let's look at this table. In this table, you need to decide, is this a proportional table? So does this table make a proportionality? Well, I've got 1 going to 4. So 1 times something equals 4. Well, I don't know what that is, but I can work backwards. I can go 4 divided by 1, and I get 4. Okay, so the constant needs to be 4. So 2 times 4 is equal to 8. Yep, that works. 3 times 4 equals 12 on my calculator, right? So if I go 3 times 4 equals 12, and this is 15. So this has no constant, right? No constant, and no equation, right? I can't make an equation. Okay, now let's come back over here and just look at something else here. So we found that 4 was the constant here. So we can make an equation. We're going to go y equals my constant, whatever my constant is, times my x. So y is equal to, my constant was 4x. Okay, so all of these answers were 4 times x, and that is true. Now let's look here. This one had a constant the entire way through. So my equation is y equals, what is my constant? 25. And what did I multiply it by? I multiplied it by my x. Now, when we meet together, we are going to now talk about what does the graph look like. So here's the table, here's the constant, here's the equation. And the next learning that we're going to do is look at graphs. So, you know, is that a proportional? Does this make a proportional table? Does this have a constant? Does this kind of graph? Does this kind of graph? So that's what we're going to spend the next 2 weeks looking at, is the graph. And then eventually we're going to pull it all together, right? We're going to have a table that we could complete. We could find a constant. We could make an equation, and we could then make a graph. So that's kind of where we're going to leave before you go on winter break. Now, one other thing I want to do is, just because this is something that we were working on with Cami, I want to come back to here. All of these are proportional tables, okay? They're all proportional tables, and we already know the formula is y equals kx. So I can just pick one from here. What do I multiply 2 by to get 6? Well, if I can't see that in my head, I'm going to go 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that constant is 3. Alrighty, well then what would the equation be? It would be y equals 3x. Now let's just come down to this one right here, or let's come down to this one. We're going to come down to number 4. We already know it's constants. We just have to worry about one here. One relationship. So I've got 2 times something equals 4. So I'm going to, I can't see what that would be in my head as a multiple, so I'm going to go 4 divided by 2 gets me 2 on my calculator. So what is the equation for that? It would be y equals the constant, which is 2x. Okay, so just serving as a little bit of review for you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow in class, and have a great day. Thank you.